understanding different types of Capricorn and psychology behind them. Everyone says Capricorn is serious, but that's not really the truth, is it? You're not serious. You're focused. You're not cold. You're consistent. You're not detached. You're just building something bigger than the moment you're in. You don't get distracted by noise because you've got vision. While most people chase motivation, you chase mastery. That's the difference. And here's the crazy part. Science actually backs that up. Studies on delayed gratification show that people who can wait for a long-term reward activate their prefrontal cortex more, the same part of the brain responsible for patience, planning, and success. Translation: you were built for the long game. But not every Capricorn works the same way. There are three kinds. One builds structure, one builds beauty, and one builds wisdom. So if you've ever felt like your goals run deeper than ambition, like you're not just climbing to the top, but building something that will outlast you, this one's for you. Let's break down the psychology of Capricorn and find out what kind of empire your mind was born to build. Core archetype, the Capricorn mind. Let's start with what really defines a Capricorn. Capricorn is cardinal Earth, ruled by Saturn, the planet of time, structure, and discipline. You're not here to move fast, you're here to move intentionally. You don't believe in shortcuts because you know stability is built brick by brick. You don't crave control, you crave certainty. In psychology, Capricorn energy mirrors executive functioning, the part of the brain that handles planning, focus, and delayed gratification. You think in systems. You don't just ask, what do I want? You ask, how do I make it last? That's not rigidity. That's emotional intelligence applied logically. Neuroscience supports this perfectly. The prefrontal cortex, which manages self-control and long-term strategy, is more active when we delay gratification for a meaningful outcome. That's why discipline feels natural to you. Your brain literally rewards consistency more than instant success. You're motivated by progress, not applause. You find peace in purpose and clarity in routine. When life gets chaotic, your instinct isn't to escape, it's to organize. You regulate emotion through planning, turning anxiety into productivity, frustration into focus. That's your version of therapy. But that same focus can turn heavy when it becomes self-pressure. Because while everyone else sees your composure, you often carry the quiet fear of falling short. Saturn teaches through resistance. And for you, growth always comes with challenge. The lesson isn't to stop climbing, it's to remember that every summit deserves rest before the next ascent. You don't always have to hold the mountain up. Sometimes you just have to stand on it. Capricorn's mind is built for endurance. You don't just build success, you build legacy. And depending on which part of Capricorn season you were born in, your architecture changes. Some build systems, others build impact, and a few build wisdom that outlives them. First decan Capricorn, the strategist. If you're a first decan Capricorn, born between December 22 and December 31, your energy is ruled completely by Saturn, the planet of time, structure, and mastery. You're the strategist Capricorn, disciplined, patient, and relentlessly goal-oriented. You don't just build dreams, you build systems that make them real. You think in frameworks, timelines, and blueprints. Every move is intentional, every goal a step in a larger design. In psychology, this aligns with self-regulation, the ability to control impulses and delay gratification in pursuit of a bigger goal. You're naturally wired to plan, persist, and persevere. Studies like Walter Mischel's famous marshmallow test proved that people who can resist immediate rewards for long-term outcomes often achieve more long-term success. That's you. Your patience is your power. Neuroscience also explains this strength. The prefrontal cortex, the brain's executive center, is responsible for planning and emotional control. For you, that region operates like a well-trained muscle. You process stress through logic, turning uncertainty into order. It's why your composure under pressure often feels unshakable to others. But Saturn's lessons aren't easy. Your biggest challenge isn't failure, it's fatigue. You hold yourself to impossible standards, sometimes mistaking responsibility for worth. You're so used to carrying the weight of things that you forget you can put them down. The evolution for this decan lies in trust, trusting your process, your pace, and your progress. You don't need to prove your discipline, you embody it. You are the strategist Capricorn, steady, capable, and deeply reliable. You remind the world that mastery isn't built on speed, it's built on stamina. And while others are busy chasing the moment, you're busy building the future. Your Saturn gift? You don't rush destiny, you design it. Second decan Capricorn, the visionary. If you're a second decan Capricorn, born between January 1 and January 10, your energy is ruled by Saturn and Venus, a blend of structure and soul, ambition and artistry. You're the visionary Capricorn, practical but poetic. You don't just want success, you want meaningful success. You're driven not only to build something strong, but something beautiful, whether that's a business, a relationship, or a legacy that leaves people better than you found them. In psychology, this combination connects to value-based motivation, the drive to achieve goals that align with your personal values rather than external validation. You don't just want to win, you want the win to feel right. That's why you're drawn to roles where work has purpose, not just profit. Neuroscience ties this to the balance between dopamine, motivation and drive, and serotonin, contentment and peace. You're at your best when those two chemicals work together, when your ambition is fueled by purpose, not anxiety. But Venus's influence can soften Saturn's edge, and that's both a gift and a trap. You're generous, loyal, and deeply caring, but you can give so much that you start defining your worth through your usefulness. You become the one who holds everything together, even when it costs your peace. The key for this decan is to remember, purpose doesn't require perfection. The most valuable things you build are often the ones that breathe, bend, and grow with you. You are the visionary Capricorn, the one who finds balance between work and wonder, duty and desire. You remind the world that structure and softness aren't opposites. They're the foundation of true success. Because you don't just build for yourself, you build for meaning. Third decan Capricorn, the sage. If you're a third decan Capricorn, born between January 11th and January 19th, your energy is ruled by Saturn and Mercury. Discipline meets intelligence. Mastery meets message. You're the sage Capricorn, the thinker, the strategist, the teacher. You don't just work hard, you work smart. You have the rare ability to see the pattern beneath the plan, the principle beneath the problem. You understand that real success isn't just about achieving, it's about understanding why it worked. In psychology, this is known as metacognition, thinking about thinking. It's the ability to step back, evaluate your own process, and refine it. That's your superpower. You don't just learn from experience, you study it, making every mistake an instruction manual for the next victory. Neuroscience refers to this as neural efficiency. Your brain becomes more effective through repetition and self-reflection. You literally streamline your mental pathways by reviewing what you've done. That's why you tend to grow wiser, calmer, and sharper as you age. Your mind is built to evolve through structure. But Mercury adds a new challenge to Saturn's order, the tendency to overthink. You can analyze so deeply that you trap yourself in logic. When you start fearing imperfection, progress freezes. The key for this decan is to remember that mastery doesn't require control. It requires trust. You've done the work. Now let your wisdom breathe. You're the sage Capricorn, intelligent, articulate, and timeless in thought. You don't chase recognition. You earn respect by example. You're the architect who becomes a teacher, the builder who becomes a mentor. You remind the world that knowledge isn't power until it's shared, and that wisdom is what happens when discipline finally turns into understanding. Capricorn teaches us that strength isn't loud. It's consistent. The first decan builds structure, the second builds purpose, and the third builds wisdom. Together, you prove that success isn't about speed, it's about sustainability. You don't rush greatness, you grow into it. You don't chase approval, you earn respect through patience and presence. You're not climbing for the view, You're climbing because it's who you are. So, which Capricorn are you? The strategist, the visionary, or the sage? Drop your decan in the comments and tell me what you're building that will still stand years from now. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to get all the updates.